The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community. Bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
And welcome to this episode of City Talk. And I'm About Town Deb, your host. We are at the National Automobile Museum. And I have Yvonne Murphy, my Sassy Soul Sister, with me today.
Hey, sister in the house.
Oh, I think it was that hey. Remember you said something with a hey. So before the show, because, you know, I'm really loving this whole podcast atmosphere.
Very much so.
You know, I love it. And now on Facebook, you're watching us and we love you and we love the podcast. But this is, I'm learning about this stuff.
I like it.
You know,
Really.
we're learning.
Yes, we are.
So it's more of a conversation. But before we continue the conversation, we're going to thank our sponsors.
Let's thank our sponsors.
GratisGives Processing, Rye Plastic Surgeons, Surratt Law Practice, Wild River Grille. And I want to thank Wild River Grille because they signed back up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And they have my About Town Deb wine. Hey, that's it. That was it. Hey, that was it. I could, like, she always does these cool, like,
funny.
hey, I just love it. So we want to thank them. And of course, FenixMedia.us Christian. Yes. And I always say this, I know you guys can't see them, but we could see him and he's mighty cute. Just so you guys know, he's mighty cute and he's very kind. And we want to thank Caliber Hair and Makeup. And we just want to thank you who are listening and our audience and everybody in our community and your community. So we've done our thank yous. And I'm going to start off with a quote this week because we're just going to roll with it because people, we're definitely keeping this real.
Yes.
No notes. We are going unscripted except for my quote. Okay. This is the only notes I'm sharing. Quote of the week. Love is never wrong. Melissa Etheridge. So here's what I said on my post. Remember the next time you want to be right. Remember kindness and love go hand in hand as together we're one.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. So now it's all us.
Yes, it's all about us. And you know what? Love cures a multitude of fault. So I think it's very basic, but I think it's something that we overlook. I mean, I think when you're operating in a spirit of love, you forgive and you're kind and you're gentle. You have good manners and you think about others. So I think it's important. I think a lot of times when women talk about love, we're talking about romantic love. But human love is just about kindness and gentleness and forgiveness. And
you know how you were a few moments ago, I don't remember exactly what you said, but as you were talking about kindness and the feeling of it, I actually my shoulders dropped. It was the coolest feeling. Because you're coming at something through kindness and love versus frustration and anger.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't serve you or anyone else well. I mean, when you think about when we get all wound up about something or we're tense or we're not being nice, it's stressful and it's heavy. And I think when you're thinking about love, you just kind of melt into the situation and you give people grace and mercy. And I mean, really, we're all so stressed out. We need random acts of kindness, random acts of love. We need to do that. It should be more common than not.
I'm totally relaxed now. Just listening. So if you're listening out there, we want you to take a breath.
Take a deep breath.
And just breathe and know that you aren't alone. And like I said with my quote here, I know there's times when, we're thinking, I know I'm right, or I know I remember that right. Then I think, my mind's kind of going every now and then. Did I not get that right? But I think we do need to step back for just a quick second and go, wait a minute.
I agree.
Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not right, or maybe I'm right, but I don't know what they're going through. So I don't know. It's just, I feel like this year is a year for all of us. And this 2022, I feel like is the year for all of us to step up and step out of our box and remember that word kindness. And I love the word grace. I think that's a really important word that maybe, I don't think we use it enough.
We don't. And we'll talk about that in our next segment, because I think grace is what we all need to extend to each other. Now let's cut each other a little slack. Let's put ourselves in the other person's shoes, and you don't know what people are going through. So when you extend grace and kindness and love, it's a healing element. And it's an exchange of energy. It's all energetic. It's about the exchange of energy.
I like your braid. I just throw that out there, because we're keeping it real here. I know you guys, if you're on Facebook, you can see it. It is gorgeous. I don't have a caliber braid in. I did it myself. But I noticed that when I watch the show, my hair gets really messy with these darn headsets.
Well,
I'm just saying, when we take our photos after, I got all this hair hanging out. No, I
like a messy. You
like a messy hair? So if you're out there, like, what do you prefer? Like the messy bun? Do you ever wear a messy bun?
No.
I don't know. I wear a messy bun
in the morning. You look good in a messy bun.
You wouldn't look good in a messy bun?
I'm like an ice skater. I need it tight and glued down. And
do you ice skate?
No.
Oh.
Not anymore.
But you did.
I did back in the day.
See? Beautiful. So Christian and I thought, this show today, we want to know more about you. Okay. So as our listeners are listening throughout the upcoming episodes, they're going to go, that Sassy Soul Sister, I want to know more about her and about how she does show grace, and how when you're frustrated. And, I think we were talking about us earlier. We're in a different age bracket than a lot of people. Like we all, every, century, not century, century's 100 year. So every decade, I feel like it's a brand new beginning.
Yes, for sure.
There's those like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Today's actually, we're recording early, but today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
It would be my birthday, because we are recording this early, because I'm going to be when you're listening to this, I will be in Burbank, California, and you're going to be listening at 5:00 Pacific time. I will be having a taco birthday dinner with my family.
I like it.
Just family. No, we're keeping it simple.
Okay.
And that's so, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to everybody that's birthdays today. So it's almost time for break. We have like 30 seconds. So we are going to thank our sponsors one more time, and we're going to go to break. And so thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to GratisGives, Hall & Wrye, Surratt Law, Grille, Caliber, Fenix Media, everybody, DD James for my logo. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to dig deep in some cool topics. So hang tight. It's About Town Deb with City Talk.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate a buck to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
After having my child, I was just thinking that I wanted to kind of get back to the size I was when I was breastfeeding. When I first came in, I didn't know if I wanted to go under or over, or what size I wanted. I feel like they really took the time to educate me on all of my options. I've had a bunch of different questions. Hall himself has called and checked in with me. I was really expecting to be in a lot more pain than I was. It was a lot more pleasant than I was expecting it to be.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopRex.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and...
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to the second episode of City Talk. I am your host, Debbie McCarthy. I have my Sassy Soul Sister co-host, Yvonne Murphy here. Hello.
Hello, my love.
Hello. We are at the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada.
Yes, we are.
So we are in Reno. It is right next to the river, at the Riverwalk. It's in the Riverwalk district by the river. Man, it takes me a while to get this stuff out. But it is gorgeous inside here. And the history is amazing. And, you never know like what new exhibits and what new cars and what to look forward to and what's all the changes.
Yes.
So this being a new year, we kind of talked about that, right?
Yes, it's a new year.
It's a new year. And this is the year. Like, I feel like some of the stresses hopefully are going to come off our shoulders. But what are you looking for, Yvonne, as a woman, as, family member?
Yeah, it's a beautiful question because even though it's February, it is the beginning of the year. It's Super Bowl's behind us.
Yeah.
Go LA Rams.
I actually cheered for them too.
I did, and it feels good to win.
It's my hometown.
It's a beautiful thing. But I think coming out of what I feel like has been 2 years of COVID, I think it's real important for all of us to try to get a sense of, okay, how are we going to approach 2022? And if this is our new norm, so to speak, I hate that phraseology, but for the sake of this conversation, what is it that we plan to do for the year? So for me, it's very much about your health, because if COVID taught us anything, is that life is very fragile.
Yeah.
And so being more mindful of eating healthy. And when I say working out, I don't mean necessarily going to a gym and pumping iron. And if you do all that, I'm proud of you.
I know,
I
me
have plenty
too.
of friends who
That's
do
not
that.
me though.
But that's not who I am.
Yeah.
A good neighborhood walk. If you just, my physician told me if you just walk an hour a day, that's 30 minutes in one direction, 30 minutes back. Mm-hmm. If you just walked 5 times a week, that helps your heart, that helps your bone, that helps your lungs. And so for me, it's just about being healthier this year and being grateful for, I think a lot of times we think about what we don't have and what we want and what we need, but you need to be grateful for what you already have. So be that your health, your family, your job, your friends, the opportunities you have, you need to appreciate what you have, in my opinion, to go forward. But for me personally, just being healthier and relationships that have deeper meaning, projects that are more sustainable. Everything I'm doing has a long vision connected to it.
Okay, so projects that are more sustainable. Explain that.
So, as most of you know, I am the ambassador for the Renowned Health Foundation. And so I have a strategic plan for what I want to accomplish and what I want to bring to the table. I work with a group of amazing people, all the ages, across the board. But I personally have a mission that's connected to oncology. So I'm operating in my own lane, something that I know about from personal experience. So deeper meaning at work. I'm also the chairman of the Reno Philharmonic. Mm-hmm. We just did our classic series number 3. Excited about the music. And I think in our city, we need to remind people that you can't complain about us not having culture if you don't participate in the culture that we already have. So I encourage people to get online, renofield.com, and look at the concerts and participate and attend the functions and expose children to music as young as possible. It's a soothing, wonderful, relaxing way to just network and basically be serenaded to by a professional orchestra. My other projects just include, I did something today that kind of ties into what we're talking about. I had lunch with a young woman that I want to mentor. And I sought her out. I asked someone if they thought that, who knew both of us, that it would be a reciprocal, beneficial relationship for both of us. And they said yes. So I invited her to lunch. And I looked her in the eye and I said, if I'm your fairy godmother, what can I do to elevate you in such a way that you step into your greatness? And she thought about it and she said she'd like to have more financial intelligence, that she makes a good living, but somehow she's not managing her funds correctly. And she wanted some mentoring and some things that have to do with etiquette, social decorum, and graces. She wants a makeover and she needs a mentor to help. She could be my child. So I feel inclined to be a good example to her and to tell her how to, I don't want to say up her game, but just but just to freshen herself up, a little makeover.
But that took a lot for her to reach out, and that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And the fact that you wanted to do this.
But that's what your legacy is all about. I mean, we need to look back to see who we're pulling up by the bootstraps. We need to turn around and help somebody else. So for me, it's a compliment that somebody values my wisdom and my input in their life in such a way that they say, I want you to be part of my life and I want you to help me with this journey. And it's what the sisterhood is all about. One thing I love about men is they're very forgiving in their friendships. They can have a knockdown, drag out
and then
fight.
They shake hands and have a beer
and play golf and they're good to go. Women don't do that. We don't extend grace to each other. We can be very catty and we can be very judgmental. And I thought, if I'm going to leave a good example in light of, if I'm going to lead it and leave it, it seems to me that I should share my wisdom and my experiences with younger women to motivate them for their career, to be a good mom, to be a good partner, whatever the case may be. So I spent my lunch doing that. So I just see a year of possibility and I see the glass as half full. And I think that now that we've gone through COVID together as a nation, as a world, I think anything is possible because we've learned how to live differently, how to communicate differently, how to get outside the box. I mean, I had never heard of Zoom until we had COVID. And it's like, oh, you got to go on Zoom and you got to click on this and click on that. And I'm a little challenged in that department. But I just think I'm looking forward to a bright and happy year, just a better attitude, being a better person, a better friend. I just want to mirror what I need.
Oh, so that's a good way to put it. So I'm going to share a little story because you were saying, to do something for somebody and leave something. How do you say that? To leave a gift. So Papa Tony, who everybody knows, if you don't know, I was his caregiver. He adopted me, my dad. And we were at Weldover Grille and we were listening to live music and I was sitting there with him and another friend of mine happened to be there and she knew that her daughter had met him once before and followed us on social and wanted to meet my dad, like talk to him. So she said, hey, she called her daughter and said, if you come down right now, Papa's here. So I said, Papa, we can't go. So this young gal came down and she was like a rapper, kind of all, gothic looking. Yeah. Here's Papa Tony with his cane and his suspenders. You wouldn't even think he'd be like, what's that? So we left and the daughter came over and they sat and they talked for a long time. And we don't know. We did at the time. We had no idea. Right. It's just, and here's this 93-year-old man talking to this 22-year-old gal, all gothic looking. Like, who would have thought that they'd be sitting there at Weldover Grille by the river? Absolutely. So fast forward, my dad had passed and it was his rosary. And lo and behold, she came to speak at his rosary.
Wow.
So here we are in the chapel at Walton's funeral home. And here comes this gal bopping down the thing. Like they would say, when anybody like to say anything. And she came, she goes, hey, like, you may all not know me, but, said her name and she's in her gothic with her tattoos and this. And she said, I got to tell you, Papa Tony saved my life that day.
Wow.
I mean, so we don't know. So here's a 90, right before his 94th birthday, sitting at a restaurant and a mom goes, hey, my daughter really wants to talk to your dad. Nothing, simple as that.
Yeah.
And she said that moment made a huge difference in her life. So I want everybody, if you're listening, you need to remember that you don't know. Your words are so important.
You don't know.
And you don't know what that 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute in a grocery line, anything that you can say to somebody or that you've done that's going to change your life. So I know we're a little bit more serious this show, but I really feel like sometimes we just need to sit back and remember that we do affect the world.
Well, when we come back, I have a short movie review.
Oh, I can't wait.
That might lift our spirits.
Yeah. Well, no, hey, listen, I feel like, sometimes we did, our theme is keeping it real.
Yeah.
And yeah, Perky Debbie's always perky. Yvonne's always perky when she needs to be perky. But you had a long day. I've had a long week. And but we're still here together.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we want you to know we're here for you. So we want you to be able to close your eyes and listen to a conversation and know that you are important.
Yes.
So if you're listening, you are important. So do we get a hint about what the movie's going to be?
Well, let's just say a very popular...
I just may let you do it now. We have 2 minutes.
Let me just say so I couldn't stand it. So on Valentine's Day, I went to the movies and I saw Marry Me, which is Jennifer Lopez's new movie with Owen Wilson.
Okay.
It's so cute. She is a doll. The acting was good. The singing was great. The plot was funny. But sometimes we just need something to lift our spirits. And it was a positive, feel good movie. And we all need that. We all have the long day. We all have the migraine. We all have the day when the kids are out of control. The washer's broke. The dog is running loose in the yard. We all have the day that's crazy. But every once in a while, I can find that little sweet spot. And this week it was Jennifer Lopez, so I'm thanking her. If Jennifer, who knows? You could be listening.
She might be listening. Hey,
girlfriend.
That's it. Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Miss Jennifer. Miss Yvonne is loving you real good, and the movie was great.
Oh, and so did you spoil yourself and get popcorn, all the goodies?
I did. I just went overboard. I had popcorn and Raisinets. Vitamin water.
Have you ever put either regular M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, any M&Ms in your popcorn?
No.
Oh, you put a package of M&Ms in your popcorn and really rich, buttery popcorn. You take a bite of popcorn and an M&M at the same time. Oh, it is heaven, heaven, heaven. So if you're listening, do you have any secret desires with your popcorn? I mean, popcorn and
that could be a whole show unto itself. Secret.
Well, I'm just saying what you might have. I mean, I love pop. I like caramel popcorn.
Mm. Yeah, butterscotch is good on popcorn.
See, chocolate's good on popcorn.
Hot sauce is good on popcorn.
Oh yes,
and Parmesan cheese.
Yes. Have you ever done that? Put it in the bag, all the seasoning, and shake it up and put it in the microwave.
A big bowl.
Oh, then you shake it up, but then it falls to the bottom, doesn't it? The spices. I don't know. Mine does. And then at the end, I'm choking because all the hot stuff's at the bottom and I just put my fingers in my mouth and it could be bad. Then I start coughing.
My favorite thing to eat as a child.
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, that's a good question.
Are you old enough to remember Jiffy Pop?
Oh, of course. On the thing like this, they can't see.
So cute.
Yeah, I love Jiffy Pop. Yeah. I mean, I think my parents, even before Jiffy Pop, they would put it in a pan with oil and keep it. Oh, sorry. They would shake it on the stove.
Yes.
We did a lot of that. And we used real butter.
Real butter.
Real butter is a big deal.
Real butter or no butter at all.
Can you get real butter at the movies?
I don't know. Real butter.
Don't they say real butter?
It is.
I don't know. It's in a thing. It's like, it looks
You could
pretty.
always melt your own and bring it in a little Tupperware
But then it's going to get hard. You'd have to put warm hands on it or something. Or we could do something. Put it between your thighs to warm up. I don't know. Is it time for break? It's time for break. So we're going to take them the break. We'll be back and we'll continue the conversation about Town Deb. Be right back.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate up to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
You know that's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. It is About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy. I'm with Yvonne Murphy, my sassy soul sister at the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada. Woo.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Now, young lady, we were talking about a romantic movie.
Yeah.
What is your favorite romantic
You know, it took me a while to think about it. Mine's kind of romantic and kind of cutesy funny. You've Got Mail. It was so long ago. It was kind of like that AOL phase. Like, I bet you lots of people listening don't even know what.
Go on, AOL, what generation are they from?
Maybe they don't know. It goes, Kristen, you've got mail.
You've got mail.
It was such a cute movie, and it made so much sense. And it's kind of like a dating app now. Oh, did they ding me? Did they ding me? It's kind of like You Got Mail. I didn't even think about that. But I think we were going to kind of go back in time. Like, we were excited about going forward. But I think we don't ever want to forget our roots, baby.
Well, you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. So let's talk about where we've been.
Well, I know where I was at a party last night. And I was outside my box. I only knew the host, her husband, 4 people. That's it. There were like 75 people in this room. I knew 4.
Well, at least you were at a party last night. Some of us were home with our feet propped up.
It was a fundraiser.
Watching the Olympics. What type of fundraiser?
It was a political fundraiser. Okay. I normally don't talk political, but it was a political fundraiser. I normally don't go to though. I mean, I go, but I just went because I was being a good friend and I wanted to learn.
Something happened at that fundraiser.
So since I was all by myself, I went up to this cute little couple and I go, hey, I'm Debbie. I don't know anybody here. So I was going to introduce myself. I think I got that from our last show. We were on the last show. So they were this cute little couple. And I'm thinking, man, they must have been together forever. And I'm like, oh, you guys are so cute. I go, I bet you have a story. And they blushed and she goes, well, actually, we do. I'm like, what's your story? She goes, well, I went to one of my reunions way back when. And I'm like, really? I go, man, I haven't gone to one in a while. And she said, and there was this gentleman, sitting there, and we started chatting, and he said he was widowed, and I said I was widowed. Then he said to me, well, where are you sitting? So he went over and sat by her, and then they remembered they actually went to elementary school together. Wow. They had so much in common, and they started hanging out, and he lived in one state, she lived in another state, and they ended up getting married. And they said, she goes, I think it's been 7 years. And she said, I think we're still newlyweds. And I'm like, ooh, I love it. Wow. But just to think that, to watch them interact, they were blushing and they were just so excited. And the way she said, when he said to me, can I sit next to you? It was so cute.
Oh, that is so cute.
There's all, you think the universe does some incredible things, but it put them together.
I know, but I had a situation whereby someone I went to college with kind of resurfaced, and I'm not one for going backwards, though.
Well, no, you can still go forward with a backwards.
No, I kind of
with a backwards.
Yes. I figure I've been there, done that, but I have seen stories about people who reconnected. But this would have been my college sweetheart, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling that. Because the person he knew, I'm no longer that person. Remember earlier you said we change every decade?
We do. We really do.
The person you were at 20, you were somebody completely different at 30, somebody completely different at 40, different at 50, different at 60. And so to me, at least in this particular situation, it's like trying to recapture something from the late 70s. No. Been there, done that.
But could you just be there in the moment as a friend, as like companions, No. Well, we're going to be...
Time is precious. I mean, why?
I know.
Why do that? I would just rather it be proper and...
No, I love the proper.
Something relevant to who I am now.
Well, I do know, if you would ask any of my friends, is Debbie the same person that when she was 50 and when she was 50 and a half, even 51, and now I'm 63 today. Is she the same person? I'm actually more the person I was when I was 17.
Wow.
And 18.
Wow.
I am more from if you knew me in junior high school and high school, I am that person now, but mature and adult, but the same energy and the same positiveness and the same, I want to conquer the world and I want to help everybody. That's who I was from junior high to high school. I was the girl who did the fundraising, who brought people together, who liked the underdogs.
I think
was
you would
that
make
girl.
a great matchmaker. You should open up a business and be a
matchmaker. I'm more am a community connector.
I know.
I need to match myself, sister.
I know, but maybe that's how you get one for yourself.
You know what? Okay, speaking of that, I know my purpose.
Tell me.
I've decided that, I keep hitting that. I am totally okay. I like being single. Yes, it would be nice to have a companion. But I feel like where I'm at right now, I can help so many people. If somebody says, hey, Deb, I need you. Hey, Deb, let's go on a trip. Hey, Deb, can you volunteer? I feel like if I was in a steadfast something, I don't know. I mean, I would hope I would be able to still do that. That's the kind of relationship you want, where you can each be you, but still be together. It's all so new. Everything's so different now. But maybe I'm supposed to be the person that brings everybody together.
Okay.
Well, that is a matchmaker. Oh my gosh. Shoot.
Hello. Work
Sorry.
with the program,
blonde hair. No. Well, I really have gray hair, but no, I'm just saying that I feel like there's a story for everybody.
Yeah.
And I know we can't go back, and I totally agree with that. But I do feel like I'm actually, when you hear me now, I will have just visited with a really good class longtime friend. And I'm going to be spending a couple days and just hanging out, and not to rekindle, just to experience where they are now, because they could really use a friend right now. So I love being able to be that person to help somebody get to where they need to be.
I love that.
But think about it.
No, it's beautiful. I love it. I think you're on the right track, and I think it's it's a personal, individual journey. I think if you're a connector, then be a connector, which in my
I am a connector.
Makes you a matchmaker, but okay, well, call it a connector.
I'm good at matching people as people, not people as honey bunnies.
So I read an interesting statistic the other day, and I'm hoping that it's not true. And And in my mind, it can't be, because we create our own realities. I don't think somebody gets to define what's going to happen. But supposedly COVID kind of identified that single people are staying single. And there are less marriages. The reason there's less divorces is because there's less marriages. And it went through all of that. And I read that and I thought, well, that doesn't apply to me, because my entire life is my script. I write my script. I decide what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it, and with whom I'm going to do it. So for me, if Kevin Costner would just call me and just, call me Kevin. We talked.
So you got lots of people you want to be calling you.
No, I just want, no.
Okay,
Kevin.
Now it's just Kevin.
I'm just into Kevin. I watch Yellowstone and it's Kevin.
I have not seen that.
It's fabulous.
Is it like, I keep forgetting, is it like on a regular TV station, or is it on Netflix, or one of those?
No, it's not on Netflix. I have Charter Cable. Plug out to Charter Cable.
So what is
it's
it
on
like?
Channel 790 something of the sort. I don't know. All I know is it's a ranch and a big cowboy.
Peacock. It's a peacock.
It's a peacock.
Do you pay for
ranch,
Peacock?
A beautiful, crazy family. Lots of horses, cowboy boots, cowboy hats.
Oh, I like cowboys.
Human drama.
I like
unfolding.
cowboys. Did I say I like cowboys?
You did.
I
twice.
like cowboys.
So I think she could. Well, 3 times. I think she likes
I think I want a cowboy. No,
alrighty then. So when the Olympics are done, then I'll go back to Yellowstone and I'll go back to Netflix. And
I have
to HBO.
An odd question.
Ask me. No,
did you ever? Did you ever watch soap operas?
I did.
I'm
going to take you back to the day. I Search for Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I was like,
Edge of Night.
I was like in elementary school.
Guiding Light.
Yeah.
All My Children.
Yeah.
Young and the Restless.
One Life.
General Hospital. When Luke married Laura.
Okay, Luke supposedly just is no longer with us.
I'm sorry.
But Laura's, she's a mayor. Yeah. You know that. I
did love the soap operas and the ones at night, Dynasty.
Oh, do you remember? I used to watch those too.
Peyton Place.
Oh, we are totally.
We're aging.
But
ourselves.
but that's good, because, we're all starting to listen to podcasts.
So what's interesting about watching the old soap operas?
What?
Nothing's changed.
Oh, I know.
The human experience is the same. I mean, the hairdos are old and the clothes are old.
But the
storyline, it's the same.
I know.
Oh, Valley of the Dolls.
Oh my gosh.
That's back in the day.
That's way back in the day.
It is.
Oh my goodness. So as a child, what was some of your favorite, what's like Ozzie and Harriet and all those kinds?
So yeah.
Did you ever watch any of those?
Father Knows Best. For sure. Dick Van Dyke.
Oh,
Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary
Rhoda.
Tyler. Oh my gosh, I love them. I want to be Mary Tyler Moore.
I want to spin around in the middle of Manhattan and throw my hat up in the air.
You know what? It's almost time for a break already. Jeez. No, I want to do that. I want to spin around somewhere and throw a hat in it. I'm going to do it. Let's do
it in San Francisco. That's a girl's.
Oh, is that okay?
Let's just go there and stand in the middle of some major street.
Let's do it.
Spin around.
We're going to spin around, throw hats.
Your hat up.
What are you going to throw up? Not only now.
Well, I know it depends on what I ate that night before.
I don't mean that. I mean, what kind of hat here? That would be a Debbie talk. We'll be right back after the break. It's About Town Deb with City Talk. We'll be right back.
You are so...
After having my child, I was just thinking that I wanted to kind of get back to the size I was when I was breastfeeding. When I first came in, I didn't know if I wanted to go under or over, what size I wanted. I feel like they really took the time to educate me on all of my options. I've had a bunch of different questions. Paul himself has called and checked in with me. I was really expecting to be in a lot more pain than I was. It was a lot more pleasant than I was expecting it to be.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But
2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Ready to help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town. This is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. It is About Town Deb and Yvonne Murphy, my sassy soul sister.
Hey, sister in the house.
That's the hey. That's what I love the hey. Anyway, we are at the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada, and happy to be here. We want to thank them for hosting us. And, we've had like a little journey here. We kind of started out what's going on, and then we talked about 2022. Then we went back, and then we kind of threw things up. But now we're going to kind of continue on for poor Yvonne. She was just like, she couldn't get her breath after I asked her that question. I don't know where that came from. It's Debbie talk. So you know what? Where do you want to go next?
Well, we're going to talk about where we are in 5 years.
Yeah. Where do you
want to the universe?
You're going to manifest it. Let's see.
As a man thinketh, so is he. So
okay,
you have to.
Okay, I'm going to focus.
Just focus. I think 5 years from now, it'll be 2027, God willing, and the creek don't rise, which is what the old people used to say. 2027, I will be officially retired, happily married, traveling the world. And this isn't a new chapter for me. This is a resurrection of an old life before COVID. I want to be in a position where I have really mentored a group of people at that point. If I had to pick a number, at least 4 to 6 people that I've touched and inspired their lives in such a way they step into their greatness. So definitely mentoring, definitely hoping that we're all healthy and able to travel, in a committed, settled down relationship. And I take that back. You know what? I really don't believe in retirement. Because I don't think it's healthy for your mind. Okay. I think we all need to stay engaged.
Okay.
At some level. Because I think to just get off the grid is not healthy. But I want to be able to do it in a passive way. So I have some projects underway. But I just want to be basically who I am now. I want to look the way I look now. I certainly don't want to age any. Thank goodness for a good plastic surgeon. I just want to be grateful and happy, just standing in my truth and a little more relaxed. I think I'm a very A-type, edgy person. I play hard. I work hard. Everything is serious to me. I really like the friends in my life that just say, you just got to relax a little bit. Take that deep breath, exhale. There is a word in a book. We'll call it in a book so that we're proper. And the word is Selah, S-E-L-A-H, and it means to pause and consider. It's just, you sometimes need to just step back and breathe and, you know, and just be grateful and just be happy, just be thankful. So if I had to learn anything over the next 5 years, it would be how to relax. I've never been one to relax, ever, my entire life.
I totally get you there.
Very OCD. And you know what? I had a therapist tell me once that perfection is the highest form of self-abuse, because you've set the stage in such a way that not only can you never meet the requirements, nor can anyone else. So
I should have been recording you saying that.
Yeah, the perfection. I mean, I'm the person that when I walk on the carpet, I've got to vacuum myself out of the room.
Do you really?
Yes, Chuck.
You mean like every?
Oh
no. Are you talking when you're vacuuming?
So
Not like you don't like vacuum every time you walk.
Well, literally, almost. It's really, and it's a lot of pressure, and it looks beautiful all the time. But instead of people saying it's beautiful, and they say, "Oh, it's like a museum," because it's so it's tight. I need to relax.
Story with that. I got a good story for that. So Nana and Papa, who adopted me. Oh, Grandma B, hello. Ellie, hello. And Glenda and everybody up there. I love you. So I remember everything had to be like, you would walk in. It was like, make your bed, do this. You can't do this till you clear the dishes. And my dad was the avid vacuumer like you. Yeah. The beds were perfect. Everything was like just right. So every time they would come to visit, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have the toys. I'd put them in containers and the toys matched and everything was perfect. And I was so stressed. And all of a sudden they looked and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just trying to be like perfect. And they're like, stop. That's what we did. You need to stop. You need to play with your kids. You need to not worry about that. Because she literally said to me, I missed out on so much because I was so busy working lots of hours. And I see you right now trying to fix everything perfect for us. And there's your kids.
But
get on the floor and be messy.
I think it's generational, because a lot of people listening to this won't remember this, but there were a time that your living room and dining room were off limits.
Oh, yeah.
Children weren't allowed in those
I was
rooms.
not, no.
And so the house had to be clean because mom never knew when somebody was going to ring that doorbell, and she didn't want to have to apologize for the house.
You don't want to go in my house right now.
So yeah, it's a generational curse. But then again, my brother once told me if he had a choice of a woman who was super neat or one that was super messy, he would rather be with super neat. It's easier to teach her how to relax than it is to teach somebody else how to up their game, because there's just some people that are just messy.
And they can't, that's just who they are.
Yeah, it's just who they are.
It's their thing.
So you need some balance. But I think, I remember sitting on my own sofa like a year ago, and I thought, wow, I don't think I've ever sat in this room.
Oh my gosh. I totally remember.
And I was uncomfortable. I clearly was uncomfortable. I had to be in the living room because the workmen were in the house and they were working on a part of the house, and it forced me into the section that
you know what? I get that.
It's stressful.
I've actually sat, because I actually, when I took care of my dad, when I brought him in, we donated all of our furniture, which was all old stuff. And we brought in their exact every piece. So when my dad walked in the house, it looked just like his house.
Yes.
Everything was just like that. So it's the front room couch, and we had the den stuff. So we are always in the den by the kitchen. So there's this nice couch and 2 chairs and nobody sits in them. And every now and then I go in there and I'm like, oh, I'm sitting on the couch.
I know.
It's still, and this is like years later.
It's strange.
But there was something about that. Like, you sat, you're literally, when we sat at the table, it's like, it's set just right. And you'd say, can I be excused? And I couldn't go play till the dishes were done. There was everything was just such a way.
I know, but
I loved it. There's got to be a balance.
There's got to be a balance. There has to be a balance, because I have to tell you, I have a messy friend or two, and it's very stressful to go there, and the kitchen sink is overrunning dishes, and
I'm not going to do that.
Things are everywhere, and it's crazy. And then at my house, it's the total opposite. Like, if you move the spigot, I've got to line it back up straight.
Not me.
I don't want water spots on things. And
okay,
it's crazy. Like, you got to pull out the Windex and wipe it off, because I don't like spots and fingerprints. So it's kind of crazy.
I don't think you ever want to come to my house. Well, but no, I clean up well.
Glass of wine, I won't notice.
Okay, I'll give you wine first before we go.
But I do think it's about balance. And I think some of us are too relaxed. The pendulum has swung too far in the wrong direction. And some of us are too uptight. It really is about meeting in the middle and learning how to enjoy your life in such a way that you're present in it, but For me, it was about hard work and getting nice things and then preserving those nice things. So you've got dishes that you've never eaten on. Everybody's got a china cabinet of dishes they don't even use and crystal that they don't use because we were taught to accumulate it, but we weren't taught how to enjoy it. So I think if I'm speaking into this year, I would say happier, more relaxed, or the next 5 years, happier, more relaxed, and more present. Because at the end of the day, we know you can't take it with you because the Egyptians proved that you can't take it with you. They tried.
They try. Well, I think if you're listening, and you, Yvonne, and myself, I think that we should all plan one night in the next week or month and get out your fancy dishes. Yes, and you could have dinner on them.
I think you should just go to your china cabinet right now and pull out that bowl and put some cereal.
I mean, I'm just saying. I have all my parents' stuff, and I have my stuff, and I think at one point I had tons of Princess House, and I donated all that. I just got rid. I didn't even care. But then I have all the nice stuff that I have, and I still have that. But I think I am going to pull out something nice today. I'll take a photo if I remember.
You do know this is generational, though. Because there's a show on HBO about the minimalist, and there's a generation of people who don't collect all this stuff. They don't have crystal and china and flatware. They have that simple, clean look. Some people say it's cold, but I think it's easier to clean.
Oh, I would think.
But it's without all the bric-a-brac, as we used to call it. It's just a clean, basic. You don't need 42 dinner plates.
But what happens to people like our generation? Okay,
well,
I'm saying, but we have our grandmothers, our parents, and I have mine. This is like it's 2 minutes. It's a big deal. So we would love you to comment or whatever and let us know. Is there something really special that you've been wanting to use and you haven't?
So having said all that, and since we have a queue of time, I want to tell you that by our next podcast, I vow to have the garage cleaned out.
Oh,
I found an organizer.
Did you find the person?
I found
we talked about that.
And that's how we're going to lighten up the load. We're going to get rid of some of this stuff and it goes wherever it goes. Can you
say who she is?
I can't remember her name.
Is that who we talked about? Is that who we? Oh, okay.
It's someone else.
Okay.
But
I'm excited.
So I think we should have a goal.
Okay.
Clean out a closet lighten up your load.
Okay. I'll do something. I'll empty the dishwasher. I'm just being honest.
Already then.
No,
baby steps.
I will fold the clothes on my couch.
Yeah, let's.
I just unloaded it. Okay,
for crying in the night, y'all.
You're not ever coming to my house.
What Sam Tarnation's going on at your house?
I've been a little stressed.
Maybe we should do a show from your house. So I can
say, gosh,
fold the clothes up on the sofa.
It's 1 minute.
Well,
and then I'm gonna go home and fold clothes.
So nice.
I adore you. So we love you guys to chime in and give us ideas of what you want us to talk about. Because, we'll talk about just about anything as long as it's not politics and religion. We're all about you. Fun, uplifting. We just, we're here for you. And we're here to show you that we're all in this together. As my motto is, together we're one heart. And Sassy Soul Sister, I love you. And I'm looking forward to many more shows. And I'm excited for you to bring on some amazing women friends.
I'm looking forward to it.
And maybe some men friends.
Well, just never know. Kevin.
Kevin, are you out there? Or maybe Donny Osmond for me. He's my, I don't know why I'm hooked on Donny Osmond. I manifest. We have how many seconds? 15, 5? Ooh, I don't know.
Okay, don't forget love, kindness, and grace.
Love, kindness, and grace. And everybody remember, we are together with one heart. Yep. And we can't wait to see you again. And it's About Time Dead with City Talk. And we'll be back next week.